everyone. This is Inside the TMC Family, and I am Faith Howard Mooney, VP of Member Engagement. Today, I have with me Tim Pascarella, who is the president of Ross Mortgage. And thanks for joining us today, Tim.
Thanks for having me, Faith.
Ross joined TMC in June of 2019. Can you believe it's already been a couple of years? It seems crazy.
You'd think we'd have a pandemic between us.
1 year lasted for a really long time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why it feels like 5.
Maybe. Well, we've appreciated you being in and how much you've engaged with the other lender members in the network. But for those that you haven't had a chance to meet, thought it would be kind of nice if they got to know you a little bit. So here we go.
Fire away.
Share with me what your first job ever was.
Ever.
Very first one.
I was a chicken cutter at Boston Market.
Oh my God.
That was my first job ever. So yeah, I was slanging chickens at 15 years old. I played basketball for the high school team, and the whole basketball team loved it when they came in because I gave them the extra portions and the bigger cuts.
What an awesome first job. I haven't had anyone share that one with me yet.
That was it. That was my first job, a chicken cutter at Boston Market.
So share with me then how long you've been in the mortgage industry. And everybody always has a unique story about how they ended up in mortgage.
Sure. Well, I've been in the industry for it's going on 20 years, so over 19 years. I'm a unicorn, and maybe that's why I'm the president. I always joke with Tim Ross, our CEO. I say I'm the only reason I'm the president because I stayed here the longest. But I've only been with one company. I started with Ross, and I'm still at Ross Mortgage. So that's been a fun story. The story of how I got there was actually another unique one. So I graduated from the University of Michigan, University of Michigan. That's my favorite school, but I didn't go there. I partied more. So I was Western Michigan University. So that's where I graduated from. And when I got out of college, a friend and I started a small little distribution company. And so we needed something to distribute. So his uncle helped us and invested in us. And we found this little blue silver can called Red Bull. And we started distributing Red Bull. Well, we were going to parties, and the way that distribution worked with Red Bull back in 2001 is you had to host parties. And that's how you got people to engage. Yeah. Well, if anyone remembers correctly, back then, people were dropping dead and hearts were exploding. And I thought we had another jolt. So I sold that share in 2001 of what I owned from that distribution company that distributed Red Bull because I thought it was a fad. That was one of my most brilliant moves ever. So once I got over that heartbreak, I needed a job, and I needed to get into mortgages. And my now brother-in-law, but at the time a very good friend of mine, we married sisters, told me about Ross Mortgage, a local bank here in Metro Detroit, and that this guy I knew was doing really well and he needed someone to come work for him. There you go. I called him up, we interviewed, and I was his assistant for all of 60 days. And then I accidentally saw his pay stub and I said, okay, I don't need to be your assistant. I can do this. So I went into originating right away.
That is an awesome story. I had no idea that you have been there the entire time. That is very unusual in the industry.
We all know how loyal the mortgage business is. But
right.
But yeah, I've been here the entire time.
What's the one thing that you came in early, you were young, that you wish you would have known, like in the beginning, that seems like such a clear thing that you should have known when you came into the mortgage space?
Oh man, that's a really good question. I became president of Ross 4 years ago, and I've learned so much about the behind the scenes of the mortgage industry. And I think I was 24 years old when I got into it. And I think that the younger me would have wanted to know more about good loans versus saleable loans. Because not every saleable loan is a good loan. And I think if I could do that over, especially from 2001 to 2005, I probably would have not done a lot of those loans. Now, again, I work for an amazing company and we were very conservative. And we never got, I think we did 7 subprime loans in the history of this company. But we sold the snot out of all A loans. So just because they were called a little different. But I think just putting people in situations that are good for them, and mortgage for life type thing. I think I would have liked to know more about that when I was younger. The younger me just wanted to close loans.
Yeah. Very good advice for somebody new coming into the industry, for sure, especially in the current climate of the mortgage industry.
Absolutely.
Where we may be heading.
Yeah. Who knows?
If you weren't in mortgage, what do you see yourself doing?
I was going to go to law school. I wanted to be a sports agent. I still want to be a sports agent. I pray to God my son's a really good athlete, and I really hope that one day I can be his agent, because then it would fulfill my dream. So, but yeah, no, that's what I wanted to do. I'm your typical story. Met a girl, didn't want to go to law school, so I didn't do it. And quite honestly, I got into the mortgage business. I mean, I was still thinking about going into law school when I started at Ross, but I mean, 2002 to 2006 were some good times, and I knew a lot of lawyers that were doing worse than I was, so I didn't want to go to school to do it. So, but absolutely, if I wasn't in mortgages, I would have gone to law school, and I would have hopefully have been a sports agent. Jerry Maguire really did something.
Jerry Maguire, yeah. That sounds a lot like you would have a great personality.
I love sports, and I loved law at the time.
Yeah. So you're in Michigan, Ross is in Michigan, and Michigan is a beautiful, beautiful state to live in. If one of our listeners today ends up in Michigan, what is the one thing that they absolutely have to do while they're in Michigan that Michigan is known for?
Oh, wow. Gosh, in Michigan, we have a phrase, and it's funny because I say it and I think it's so normal, but when I say it out of state, people ask me, what are you talking about? So I was in Florida a couple of weeks ago, and someone asked me what I was doing the following weekend. I was like, yeah, I'm going up north. And they were like, where's that? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what we say in Michigan when you're going to northern Michigan. Northern Michigan is God's country. Traverse City, Sheboygan, Charlevoix, Petoskey. It is the most beautiful. My opinion is anything north of Flint in Michigan is the most beautiful country in the world. You know, it's so pretty. We got the Great Lakes that look like oceans. So if you ever wanted a mountainous feel with an ocean view, go anywhere on the lakes of northern Michigan.
Perfect advice. I live in Minnesota. We say going up north too, believe it.
Yeah.
But we're probably one of the few places.
Right. This guy in Florida was like, are you going to Georgia? Like, he didn't know what I was. I'm like, no, never mind. I'm going up north.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I really appreciate you doing this with me today. You always add fun into our conversations. And we love that you have engaged with as many lenders as you have and been so helpful to people within the network. We really appreciate that.
Well, thank you very much. I love the TMC, and I'm so excited we're all getting together, masked or not. I'm excited we're getting together, and I look forward to Los Angeles.
2 weeks and counting.
2 weeks and counting. I'll see you guys there.
See you there.
Bye-bye.